Before we get started with today's episode, we just wanted to quickly let everyone know that this is a Zoom call recording. This is not the audio quality of the Disturbingly Pragmatic podcast. So if you head over there, their audio quality actually is really, really great. It's not going to sound like the Zoom quality we all have come to know and love. So just wanted to give a quick heads up about that before we start our episode. We had a ton of fun. Hope you guys enjoy. Hi, Cassie.
Well, hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Dave and Paul.
Hello.
Oh, hi there.
Hello. Oh, hello. How are you?
So good.
This is a 24-hour podcast looking into the entire cheese family. We have cheddar, mozzarella, parmesan,
Oh, God.
Limburger, Brie. That's all I know.
Oh, you're gonna keep going. Did you even say American?
Yeah.
That's not actually cheese.
Not
here.
cheese.
It's, it's like when you have macaroni. We have macaroni and cheese up here, right? But we have to call it Kraft dinner. Do you want to know why? Because in Canada, there's not enough cheese in that to call it macaroni and cheese.
I believe that.
Because it's not cheese. Not cheese.
Oh, Dave.
There's
Oh,
dick
God.
cheese. Well, so are you going to tell who we are, or are we just going to sit here?
I was
Yeah,
going to,
yeah.
but I wasn't sure how many more cheeses you might know.
I don't know how many cheeses. Good goddamn. I'm not French. That's Paul.
Oh, this is P&W Haunts and Homicides and Disturbingly Pragmatic.
DP.
DP.
And why do we call ourselves DP, Paul?
Deep penetration.
That's also
Sure.
not what DP stands for.
Oh, it's not? What is it?
No.
Did I get the porn term wrong?
Uh-huh.
You kind of did, yeah.
What is it?
It's
Ghost.
double.
Oh, double.
Ghost.
What did I say? I knew it was double.
Deep.
What did I
Deep.
I said deep.
The deep.
Oh.
That's good too. That's good too.
See,
That's real
you
good.
were emphasizing the length, and we're emphasizing the girth.
I say I
Well,
don't
this-
know which one I prefer.
Oh my God,
All
I'm
right. Well,
dead.
this has been a great conversation with
Okay, so
P&W Haunts and
bye.
Homicides. Bye.
Where Cassie
Bye.
learns about porn terms.
Oh my gosh.
I've never done this before, honestly.
Are you going to give me homework?
Oh my gosh. So these last couple of weeks, we've been talking about Bruce McArthur.
And by the way, Bruce McArthur would most assuredly be in the trucker convoy if you were out of jail right
Probably.
now. I just want to put it out there.
Seems like that would be right up his alley.
No, you look at the guy. He's the fucking trucker convoy. Let's face it. That's exactly who he is.
I really just hate him.
Yeah.
I really hate him. I know we're
What's not to
supposed to
hate,
hate
though?
him, but I really hate him. So we actually talked about, though, in the first episode, a couple of the different bars that are in that neighborhood. And we talked quite a bit about zippers.
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 I love that.
It's either a fashion boutique or a gay bar.
Oh,
Yeah, Zippers unfortunately was closed down.
I know.
I never experienced Zippers. I knew about it.
Uh-oh.
What are you
Dave.
laughing at, David?
I never experienced zippers. And so if you never experienced it, why did you say it's unfortunate that it closed down? Maybe it was a shitty club.
That's because he didn't get to experience it. He needs that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
I thought Zippers was, I don't know if David would know this, but Zippers closed down. Was the Alibi Zippers, or was that a different location?
No idea.
Do you
what
remember?
you're talking about. I didn't. The only gay clubs I knew down there were Woody's.
Yeah, which is
And,
still there.
That's
Cruise and
it.
Tango.
Sure. And then there's that like leather bar.
That's the Black
Yes,
Eagle.
The Black Eagle.
The Black Eagle.
Yeah.
But see, you know more about gay bars in Toronto than I do, Kate.
Yeah.
Excellent.
She's done her
So,
Yeah.
that's
homework.
what so can I just say I have no idea if that's what the Alibi was. Is that what it was called? The
Oh,
Alibi?
okay.
That's gay too.
Yeah, because
Holy shit.
I've been to that place. Sorry, yeah.
I feel
The
like
Alibi.
the name, the Alibi, I feel like that rings a bell for me with my research, but it wasn't like the Black Eagle or like Zippers where it was coming up over and over and over again.
Hmm.
But
I'm sure it was coming up.
I
Yeah.
knew you were gonna say that. I was like, he's gonna say something.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
Dave.
12 years old. How can I not?
Same. I just said earlier today
my
I'm a
God.
12-year-old boy, which is why I bought the
Less
pretty
than an hour ago,
the
Cassie
pretty lady
said,
on the wine bottle.
Ooh, tattoo girl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's actually a nice label.
I
It
know. She's
That is a really nice label. It's really cool. I like that.
yeah,
Oh.
she looks like she'd
Um,
fit in at the Black Eagle.
probably.
Unfortunately, so here's the thing. So we'll digress for a moment into the Black Eagle. So the Black
Please.
Eagle is a staple. It's been there forever on Church Street in Toronto. They have also a sister club that's actually in the States.
What?
It's like a chain, yeah.
Wait.
Stop
The only
it.
thing the only thing is that this is a predominantly, like, I would say like 90% plus men's club.
Yeah. That makes sense.
because of the fact of the events that they hold there. So in Toronto, the space is actually separated into 2 floors. So the primary floor when you go in is your bar, and then there's a dance floor at the back. And then there's washrooms. But then when you go upstairs, there's a small little bar area, and then there's like a terrace, like a balcony that you can kind of go, and it's all open and it's really nice up there. But that's also where the back room is.
The squeegee
So-
room?
Yeah, the squeegee room.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna ask. I'm like,
Yeah, so they have a mini back room off of the
This
tiny
whole
bar
room
that's
smells
upstairs.
of cum.
Come.
oh no.
Yeah, so there are events that are held there where, because the thing is like my friend pool, like my closest friends, like 95% of them are all women. So actually we could never go there. Like we'd go down and we'd go and I'd be like, oh, hey, we want to get in. And they're like, unfortunately, it's a men's only night because of the fact that they have that. And it's so funny because I'm like, they wouldn't give a shit. Like my friends personally, I don't care.
Yeah.
My one friend, she's like, I'd probably stand at the bar and just drink something and just kind of watch and go, okay, cool, great. That's how it's done. Okay, great. So,
Informative.
That's why they
yes.
don't want women in there just watching, being little creeps at the bar.
So unfortunately, yeah, you don't see a lot of like female presence in there. And it is predominantly, I would say, part more leather bar for sure, but it caters towards more like the bear community. So like bigger guys, hairier guys, otters, that kind of thing. But it's been around. Yeah, otters is like it's a bear, but it's a skinny guy. So like it's a skinny guy who's just hairy. Yeah,
you also
I know.
have chipmunks, squirrels, foxes, geese, pelicans, ducks, and
I do.
sometimes swans.
I do really enjoy the animal names. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I love
so
that.
many.
I really
animals.
We all want to be furry. We want to be
Yeah.
furry.
No, that's different, honey.
Yeah, that's a little
That
bit
is
different.
I know what furrydom is. Yipping and whooping and hipping and hoofing. All I'm saying is that those costumes must cost a lot to clean the jizz off of. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm. Yep. At all that
Lovely.
hair.
They take it
Imagine
to
being
the
their dry
same.
cleaner. Yeah.
The same dry cleaner.
Fucking,
The
and the dry
same-
cleaner's like, oh, fuck, here they come again. Here they come again. I already know that. I've seen it. But seriously, what's going to be stained on this thing this time? Jesus.
Oh, no.
Oh, hi, how are you? Oh, you were at a party? Okay, yeah, we'll see what we can do about these things. Thank you. What a fucking asshole.
I was thinking, I'm like, is it terrible to say that like maybe they have the number for Clinton's dry cleaner?
Oh, no.
Wow. That was very 1998 of you. What the hell?
I know.
Jesus. I was 26 years old. What the hell?
Yeah, me too. I definitely understood the whole thing as it unfolded in real time.
What do you think Clinton would sound like when... I'm seriously, what do you think Clinton would sound like when he comes? Do you think he's like, oh?
I think I hear a jazz instrument.
Kenny G in the background.
Basically.
You got some alto saxophone.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. Absolutely.
1,000%. But enough about Clinton ejaculating.
Yes, exactly.
Clinton,
He's
I
like,
wonder
oh
when the
no.
last time it was that Bill really railed Hillary. I'd like to know. I mean, are they back to fucking, or are they still hating each other? I don't know. They didn't get a divorce after she fucked up the whole president.
Technically, they can do both.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I'm
yes.
terrible.
Terrible.
Just wanted to put Bill and Hillary Clinton having sex in your listeners' minds. Think about it. Sweaty.
I regret that it is something that came up in my mind. Because I think it might. Yeah, I think it's gonna live there for a minute.
Anyway, back to Bruce MacArthur, who we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
Welcome to the tangent episode.
How did we go into fucking gay bar tangent? Me going anyway.
Well, no, she was asking.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes,
There
she was asking about the bars, right? So,
yeah.
But the Black Eagle was a big one, and then there was Zippers was another big one. I never got to experience it, and then the Alibi was another bar that was very similar to the Black Eagle, more or less. It had the same kind of vibe, but it was I don't know, it was a little bit chill. It was kind of like, it's just like an open space with like a bar, and then they've got a bunch of tables where like gentlemen dance on the tables, and
gentlemen,
gentlemen, little boys. Fiddle-dee-dee.
Oh my goodness. Well, in the episode, what kind of like made me think of you guys was they were specifically talking about how at Zippers they had a grand piano, and I'm getting to it, Dave. Okay. Not the piano.
Who got the piano after Zippers closed?
I don't know.
Piano story.
Yeah. But Zippers sounds like a place, kind of something you'd see here in Portland.
Oh, okay.
Because we
free-range chicken.
I don't know how many of them have survived the plague, but we've had a couple of different piano bars over the years that they're very popular because it's not something that you can find. It's just, that's not the norm anymore with your typical bar experience, apparently.
Right.
But I loved, they actually had a retired movie prop. And both of us were like, we haven't seen this movie. So now we have to watch the movie. It was the throne from The Last Emperor.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
That's from like 1990 something, isn't it? No, I haven't seen it because I had zero fucking interest to see that movie. I'm like, oh, The Last Emperor, you say? And I'll have to read the whole movie? No, thank you.
I have no idea.
You just told me everything I need to know by The Last Emperor.
Okay, well, Dave, I just got excited because I thought, oh, this might be something where there's like a bit of like movie trivia or something that Dave knows, because you're a revelatory treasure chest.
Oh no, I just have so many ridiculously useless bullshit things in my head that I've collected over the years. But unfortunately, The Last Emperor is not included in my repertoire. So,
fair enough.
In fact, by us continuing this conversation, you're about to insert a new card into my filing cabinet. So please, on you go with it.
No, I mean, that's it. We're going to have to actually watch the movie to be able to go any further on this. But I thought,
I'm just wondering why they had it in the bar is my biggest question.
Wait. Hold on. What the fuck were we just talking about The Last Emperor for? Explain it to me. What just happened?
Okay, so
we were talking about a piano, and then suddenly we're on this movie for some reason.
Welcome to Disturbingly Pragmatic, everybody.
Yes, this is my life. My life.
No, please explain it to me because I'm slow.
Yeah,
Use big words.
I promise there was a tenuous thread at least.
So what was the thread? Is there a piano in The Last Emperor?
No. So I was just talking about like the different parts and pieces of the bar.
Okay.
So they had it.
Oh,
it was
so
really
it had
cool.
the throne from The Last Emperor. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
That's where we got. Okay. I've not done pot in the middle of the day in a long time. And I think that might be where I'm having a problem.
No, I
Maybe
don't
I
think
need
it
some
seems
booze.
like it's affected you at all.
Yeah, I think this
By the way, that door keeps opening and closing behind you, and I really wish
You can't even see the door. My
I can't, right?
ginormous pumpkin head.
It does not.
it moves every once in a while.
Yeah.
There's a
Well,
corner.
We're gonna
While
review the
we're
tape.
on the topic though, I do have to tell you. So the closet door is the one that you're
Okay.
seeing there. The other night, we have like a couple of our laundry baskets. So in the middle of the night, one of the laundry baskets just falls off the stack. And
Gravity.
it hits the door. No, but nobody was in there. Nobody was touching it. And it just like tumbled. It bunks the door. And then the door, we have the ironing board on the back of the door. So it makes this like really loud banging noise and pushes the door closed. And it really, in the moment, like it woke me up for a second and I was like,
That's why you were sleeping?
I don't fucking care. It was, we were dead asleep. I'm not kidding. We were laying in bed in the middle of fucking night. And Chris was like, we were talking about it like, I don't know, a couple days ago. And he goes, oh yeah, you woke up briefly. And I totally was like shitting my pants. And I just had to be like, oh, maybe it was just the basket. Like, go back to sleep. And he's like, but that freaked me the fuck out because nobody's in the closet. No reason why that should be happening. And he's like, but I knew if you were woken up by the ghost shit in the middle of the night, you weren't going back to sleep. So he's like, I just pretended that it was fine.
Everything's fine.
Because I am a Gola calf.
Don't forget, the West Coast has earthquakes every once in a while. And not all earthquakes are really felt. A lot of the earthquakes that happen, you can't even feel them happening. But it could be enough that could push a basket.
But it would push other things, though. Everything
No, if
else
the basket
is...
wasn't 100% on the thing in the first place, it could have just been enough that thing was like,
Here's the thing. Christopher, being the lovely skeptic that he is, went into our closet and tried to replicate this occurrance several times. And he didn't tell me until afterwards. He's like, I tried to like literally recreate this and like I'd just like nudge it or like bump it. And then I tried like shaking the thing and he's like, I couldn't get the basket to fall down the way that it did the other night.
Oh, wait. I thought I recognized your place. Isn't it from Paranormal Encounters or whatever the fuck that is?
Paranormal Activity.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me he wouldn't fucking leave her. Are you out of your fucking mind? Bitch is possessed and he doesn't leave her. You deserve getting killed, you moron.
Well,
Shit.
he was all into videotaping it and everything
Yeah,
too. She
I
didn't
didn't see
want
no
to.
rings on your fingers. Like shit, get the fuck out. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, that's why I'm
No,
pushing
you
for the
do that.
proposal.
We didn't leave
Oh,
her haunted
shit.
ass.
So what were we here
Yeah,
talking about?
gotta
About-
lock 'em down.
I
Besides
have a
my
tendency to
closet.
knock us- I have a tendency to knock us off of topics, so I do apologize.
Oh no, I do too. It's Cassie can attest to that.
I never do it.
It's sort of like that thing. that
Okay,
two of us
bitch.
are,
No.
two of us
Okay.
are ADHD and two of us are normals.
No, I don't know. The whole case was really interesting here in Toronto because it was one of those things that when it finally got traction, people started to fear for their lives and stuff like that. So just like the attendance went down, the community itself, like even now today, there are so many spaces on that street, that one particular main street, they're all closed now. Not because of the pandemic, just because people stopped going downtown. Places have been demolished and now condominiums are going up. So the space has gotten significantly smaller compared to what it used to be. But it was a fascinating story to happen. I think that the difference of the story is that if the victims had all been prominent white men, there would have been a lot more attention. But because of the fact that they were BIPOCs, it was overlooked. And because, of course, they were people who were under the radar, it just didn't even register. And it's interesting because if you look up the articles and you look up the victims that had been identified and you look at the pictures side to side to side to side, it's a type. It's a very specific type.
Yeah.
Very specific type. And it's interesting because Toronto was for a long time and still remains a city that a lot of refugees and a lot of people that flee their countries that are in, really dire straits, they come here to Toronto. I'm actually from a city that was like that for a long time, and Windsor was a refugee city because of the fact that it borders Detroit and Windsor are basically the motor capitals of their own countries. So at the time, there's a lot of jobs. So it's an opportunity. You come to Canada, you get placement, you get like a nice little home. Like there's a lot of these little tiny fabricated homes in Windsor across the board. And then you have an opportunity to work in the automotive industry and get jobs. Like I grew up with individuals like that. Like that was part of my everyday living because a lot of the people that came over are also from countries where French is their second or primary language. And I went to a French school. So 85% of all my classmates were all from different parts of the world, not even directly from Canada. Cool. So it was interesting. Yeah, it was really, really cool. Interesting. Yeah, so you got to experience a lot more culture and stuff like that. But when this case hit, I was like a little bit younger. I think I was like in my 20s, early 20s, when it started to like pick up steam.
What case?
Are you not paying attention? The Bruce McArthur
case. He literally got up and walked away.
My dear, you were in your 20s, yes? What are you talking about? This is like 2010, 11.
Yeah, I know.
You make it sound like you were a zygote. What the hell?
Well, I
remember when this first happened, I got my first pubic hair, and the same day we heard about Bruce McArthur.
Oh my God.
All right, David. What a dick. You're a dick.
But the Bruce McArthur, though, the thing that's about his victims, I just found it interesting that they were a certain type, as Paul said, until they got to the one guy who was white. Right. And it makes me wonder how much of his psychopathy was based in racism. Because when I say he looks like he could be part of the trucker convoy, I'm making a statement on that. And the fact that he looks like he could be one of these fucking idiotic white supremacists who think that white people are somehow better. Because those people always look the same. Trust me. And none of them are supreme, by the way. Unless you're talking about what they're eating and stuffing in their mouth.
Like Nacho Supreme. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. That Supreme burgers and shit like that. Oh my God, yes it does.
So hungry.
Oh, Nacho Supreme.
You're going to love this, Dave, because it's going to give you a chance to giggle at a silly name again. I'm going to pull up the article that I saved for this. So the other thing I wanted to touch on, because we're spitballing, we're discussing, we're brain farting. So the other thing that I was going to talk to you guys about, because in researching for the Bruce McArthur case, I was reminded by another one that I covered that was like very similar, at least in the sense that it was, it's a serial killer that's targeted vulnerable men, specifically in the gay community. And
Jeffrey Dahmer?
No. I mean, that's another great example.
But no.
We don't know his name. He goes by the Doodler.
The Doodler.
Better than the Diddler, I guess.
Oh,
That's
no.
exactly what I've been thinking this whole time. I'm like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say diddle, don't say diddle.
Say diddle.
Okay. I'm gonna do a share screen so you guys can see. They have police have ID'd a possible 6th victim of the San Francisco Doodler.
Who named it? Oh,
Well, I'll explain the name, but I'm gonna show you the police sketches first. So let's see. All right, I've never done this before, but
God.
I'm sorry.
okay. All right, now. Oh shit! I can't make this any.
What, does he
smaller.
like do little sketches and shit while he's fucking about to kill us?
Maybe.
All right,
He
sorry.
makes
Delay,
the victims
delay,
play
delay.
Pictionary before he kills them.
Oh my god.
All right,
that
so
would be horrific.
here's our police sketches.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's gonna let me do it. Let's see. I've never done this before. Let's see.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Like a 15-inch kielbasa. Well, Paul, don't shake your head. You love me. You
With
do.
every bullet. With every bullet.
Can you just stop being a cunt?
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry.
The Doodler wants his mystery to stay a mystery.
It
I
does.
guess, for fuck's sake.
The
Okay.
Doodler. Fucking.
Here we go. Got it. Got it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He looks like a thumb. Oh my god.
Oh my God. Dave and I are literally the same person. I've been thinking I'm like, he looks like a thumb.
Totally.
Like, oh,
Okay.
Wow.
the Doodler.
I feel so seen in this moment. He's definitely
Holy
a
shit,
thumb.
he's been going for that long?
Here, I will I'll go back and I'm gonna give you some like background here because
1975 forensic sketch and a 2018 forensic sketch. I'm assuming
Mhm.
you'll add a note to this on your show notes so that people can see what this
Yeah.
is. But
oh
like,
I
this
will.
is
The deal with the jeweler was that he would every time. I'm gonna
it's just a deal with the
okay, I guess I hadn't factored that in.
Doodler.
I know. Listen, I'm basically a comedian, but what he would do was he would
What the
approach
Doodler would do.
what he would do was approach men in bars and the various hangouts, and he would approach them with a sketch that he had done of them.
Oh.
And that was his come on.
Hence the
Interesting.
Doodler.
Yeah.
That is how he got his name.
I thought he made them play
Interesting.
Pictionary. So really,
No.
Yeah. So
kind of hard to resist a guy with a sketch of you.
see, I have the opposite reaction to that. I'm like, so you've been staring at me for 30 minutes, you fucking creep. But
Wow. Why would you take such a beautiful moment and sully it so?
because men are trash.
He was only
Um,
trying to impress you. You must be some
right.
sort of lesbian. We're leaving.
Paul's
This is-
eyes
this
are
is
like
a fucking
Cassie, edit
joke,
this
right?
out.
Paul just sits there shaking his head and drinking. Rein it in, Sally. That's what he's thinking. Rein it in.
Oh my gosh.
He's
So
in the
that's
other
the-
room, so my powers are not as strong.
And yet here I have this boner. Where did that come from? Okay. Next article for discussion.
Motion seconded. And it passes.
So the doodler. So what's going on with the doodler?
So they have identified a potential sixth victim. Oh, sorry. I keep bonking
You're
Cassie.
I'm good with it.
Oh, she likes it. Okay.
So this
Sixth victim
fucker
of the doodler.
still hasn't
So
been
it's-
caught.
Yeah.
So a sixth victim since 1975.
Yeah. So here's the
Jesus.
deal, though. He was active in the 70s. It's hotly debated as to whether or not he's still alive at this point. So, based on witnesses that have been willing to come forward as time has passed, or as they've realized that they might actually be connected to the case where they hadn't connected them before, sort of a la Bruce MacArthur in this case as well. They updated the sketch kind of based on the additional information that they've gathered up. And so you can see the sketches are like, it's like kind of some of the bones are still the same, but it's like, they're very different though.
They're very different. The first thing I notice is definitely, so the T-zone and the brow line 100% are literally the same, even into the bridge of the nose, down into the nostrils. And if you think from 75 to 2018 in terms of like sketchability or technology, depending on what they utilize, like the entire section up here, even in the eyes, are very, very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
I found that the older one just looked like an older version of the younger. Like, what timeline are we dealing with here? Because I'm confused with the timeline. So we have this 1975 picture, and then we have a 2018 picture. So are we saying that the first victim was in 1975 and the latest victim was in 2018, or is there?
So the context that I'm kind of trying to give you guys is that the crimes really took place in the 70s. We've just remained unsolved to this day.
Oh, okay.
And
So
so
they think that one person who's dead back then, they've actually attributed to this person where they didn't attribute it for 45 years. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so it's pretty
Because I was thinking,
wild.
holy shit, he'd be like 80 years old.
Right?
Giving a
I mean,
sketch in a
minimum.
bar.
Yeah.
Go over well.
Yeah. I mean, based on kind of some of the estimates that they put together of his approximate age when some of those initial crimes were committed, you're like, average life expectancy of an American man. He's
average life expectancy of a Black American man.
Yes,
because he's also
exactly.
Black. Which is that's a very interesting part of this puzzle, because there are very few serial killers who aren't white. It seems to be like that's the thing that we do best is serial kill. Is like, because
it makes sense.
We're all crazy.
Yeah.
But,
such a badge of honor.
but to have a Black serial killer is unique and interesting, and it's like Wayne Williams, who did the Atlanta child murders and things like that.
Yeah,
like you don't see them a lot, and I wonder why.
Yeah, I do think that was something that was really interesting about this case as well. And one of the things that we kind of talked about in that case series was that all of the victims were white, but we had a couple of them specifically. It seemed like it was a bit of a pattern. It's like about, a third of the victims were people that were here stateside, that were here from Europe, or so across the board, everybody's white. But it seems like there was almost an effort to target men that maybe there's like that additional degree of separation. Especially in the 70s, because the
internet didn't exist.
Right. Yeah. So it's like very specifically, he's targeting men that are,
they won't be missed quickly.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, it's the 70s in San Francisco, and even in that community, these are mostly men that are living not out of the closet. I don't know. It's very interesting. There's so many pieces of this case that, like, there's the similarities with Bruce MacArthur, but then there's also, there's definitely the fact that it's a person of color, at least, based on the information, the surviving witnesses or different things like that, it seems like that's what we've pieced together. It is unusual. So I don't know.
But that could also be a reason why he stopped after X number of people, is because he was a young Black man. Who knows if he didn't end up getting killed by the police or sent to jail for life for something.
Yeah.
Like, because again, that's the other factor there, is that I think it's a lot easier for white people to get away with this shit because the way that the police are always geared towards going after people of color rather than white people. And Yeah,
I do think that's interesting because, we talk about that really, it's a consideration with any serial killer, right? When they kind of go dormant, or there are periods of time where they sort of, they take a break, that sort of thing. We assume that for most of them, it's because they were incarcerated, or, some of them, it's like, eventually they died. Yeah, exactly. For the most part, those are the two ways that we see them slow down or stop.
Just like Jack the Ripper. When you go back to Jack the Ripper, but suddenly he's there for one summer and then gone. 1888. And it's like, okay. I personally have a theory that Jack the Ripper didn't start in London, but rather was visiting London, because when you see Jack the Ripper's kills, right from the first kill, like, that's somebody who has done this before.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a first time at the rodeo type of gal. And so I have a feeling it's an American or somebody from a different country who's come to London for a very short period of time and just continued what they did at home in London.
I agree. I do
That's
think
the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that has become a more popular theory in the modern era, because what we know about serial killers now is very different. And I know I won't be able to think of the name but I know that there is one specific person that historians have looked at, who was somebody who was basically, through the course of their travels, they happened to be in the area that, time, place,
and
date,
had something to do with uteruses. There was somebody who had something to do with removing uteruses or something. And this is somebody that they were looking at, and I'm pretty sure it was an American. And it was some doctor or something, and then went over. Yeah, so I personally, as I said, I don't think that was just look at me. These are the only murders I've ever done. I'm Jack the Ripper. No. Nay.
Yeah, exactly. Suspicious.
We've got another promo roll that we are really excited to share today.
Hey there, I'm Emily.
I'm Tori.
And I'm Lindsay.
And we're the hosts of Three's a Crime, a bi-weekly true crime podcast that touches on all your traditional favorite crimey-wimey things, but we also cover crimes that inspired movies and TV shows, and cases specific to our hometown of Spokane, Washington, and cases all around the Pacific Northwest. Catch our new episodes every other Wednesday wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
You guys, we're back. Hi.
Well, before we do Paul's tarot reading, we did want to see if there's any of your morgue stories that you want to share.
I forgot.
I know, everyone forgot. How am I the one that remembered?
The content we are about to play is descriptions of situations Dave encountered in the field during his funeral directing days. They are pretty gruesome, pretty graphic, so if you would not like to hear that, please skip forward to 49 minutes and 15 seconds. For everyone else, here we go. Ew, David.
All right, this is a story that I actually just shared in a subreddit. Basically, it was Ask Reddit. And somebody said, "What's the grossest thing you've ever seen come out of a body, or like on the human body?" And one of my replies to that, well, it's not necessarily the grossest thing I've ever seen come out of a human body, but It's basically what you would call somebody who's been in a bathtub for 2 weeks in the middle of July, who died while having a bath, and they weren't found until 2 weeks later. It's
Skin
like
soup.
chunky soup.
Oh
It's
my
really
God.
chunky soup.
Oh
and
my
it's like a
God,
chunky
that's
stew. It's like you don't know
awful.
whether to eat it with a fork or a spoon. But the thing is, you can't just unplug the drain at that point, because then a human being is going down the drain.
What do
So
they
you
do?
actually have to have to sift all of them out.
With what?
Well, it's a
Default?
process. There's lots of plastic involved, and bucket.
You just get
it's like
a
panning for gold.
industrial
All right.
scale colander.
Oh my God.
So, but anyway, no, the second one that I said was also, this had to do with picking up a body again in an apartment setting in the middle of the summer, and was found after they began to drip through the floor into the ceiling of the person beneath them. And the person, I think, underneath is like, what is this brown stuff that's on my food? Is it seasoning? Doesn't taste like seasoning.
No.
But anyway, so I happened to go to this call, and you see a body on a bed, and it doesn't look like a human body anymore, because the eyeballs are all like popped out, the tongue, everything is like swollen and distended. But what you really notice in these situations is that the abdominal cavity is putrefied and basically looks like a ripe zit ready to pop. So if you've had, absolutely, it can look like this for sure. So most of the time, these things will have exploded over the 2 weeks, but we happened to get there and it had yet to explode. So it was a ripe zit. So I happen to have a new guy with me. So,
bad day, new guy. Bad day.
Yeah, bad day for you, new guy. So I pull him out into the hallway and I just said, okay, here's the situation. We're going to have to somehow lift this body up using the blanket underneath as leverage, and slowly, gingerly lift it up and place it onto the stretcher. Because if we
You don't
do
just do it like
anything-
when they rip a tablecloth out from underneath
No.
the full place setting.
Considering this body has been on this tablecloth for 2 weeks, I would think not. Because
Oh God.
I said, so the important thing is this. Once you have a grip on this, you cannot shudder it. You can't make a sudden move. Follow my lead. Don't drop it.
Don't fuck it up,
swear
new
to
guy.
God, I swear to God, you will not like the end result if you fucking drop this body. I said, do you got it?
He don't got it.
Do you got it? Right? Like, I want to make sure that he had it, because
He doesn't.
he had it.
No.
Well,
I don't believe it.
TLD didn't read. Too long didn't read. He didn't have it. So we slowly get our hands so that they're in the sheet, and and I said, okay, so we're going to pick them up on 3. So you're sure you've got the sheet properly in your hand. Everything's good. 1, 2, 3, and lift. And he immediately tripped his foot over the side of a mattress or something. He dropped the side of the sheet. The body went boom onto the bed. His stomach exploded, spewing putrefied human waste and organs all over the bed, all over the floor, and all over the new guy.
Oh my God. We have to do a trigger warning before that.
Yeah, we will.
Oh my God, I'm gonna vomit.
New guy proceeded to vomit on everything.
As one does.
On everything. There was just an episode of The Righteous Gemstone that we just
I was
saw
just
where
gonna say that.
all
They
3
were
of them
all
started puking. All 4 of them were puking. That was what I witnessed, only with the smell. So not only do I have the smell of the guts that had just putrefied the entire room, I had his hot, disgusting Taco Bell that is now all over the top of the disgust. I don't know what's grosser. Yeah, that was his last day.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So is he a dentist now, or?
I have no idea. I didn't care, but I will say this. It took all of my fucking being not to fucking laugh. Not to laugh. Because there's, wow. The look on his face. The look on his face. And then just it was fucking priceless. I'm sorry, it was priceless. I can still smell it. I can smell it right now as I'm telling the story.
I don't want to. No.
Almost taste it. There was a funk in the air, I'll tell you.
It was thick.
Yep. Real thick funk. I'll tell you one more story.
Okay.
This is one that I've already told on our podcast, but I want to tell it a little bit better because I always find that when I tell some of my funny stories, I'll accidentally forget something that's really funny in the funny story.
Yeah,
so
like the best part, almost
like
without fail, right?
So this is the story of the masturbation machine. We got called out to this house, and it was in the basement. Now, the top of the house, normal-looking house, everything seemed in its place, but the basement was like a fucking hoarder lived there. It was disgusting. Full ashtrays, things like this, just nastiness. We go down into this basement, and on the television, without sound, is a fucking porno on a loop.
No, thank you.
Yeah, a porno on a loop. Now, this porno is like a DVD that like just keeps repeating. Because I'm assuming somebody thinks they're going to be masturbating for the amount of time it takes to repeat a fucking porno. But that's just me. Normally, that's like a 2-minute occasion for myself. But maybe some people like to edge for 4 hours. That's perfectly fine. I'm not going to judge. Hit the ceiling. So we look, and across from this television is a couch. It's like a 3-banger, normal 3-banger couch. But there's a dead body on the couch.
Oh.
And so the dead body is naked and laying face down, and with the head positioned so that it was looking at the DVD. Inside this couch, this person had installed a leaf blower, only
no
on reverse. They had cut out a section of the couch so that they could comfortably fit into this couch. There was a section where the head could sort of like fit in nicely, almost like if like you're on one of those massage tables and you have the face so that you can like sit there and lay on the massage table and not suffocate. Well, this is how this person was, only there was a Black & Decker fucking pecker wrecker underneath them.
Oh my God.
Because this person apparently died in the... Yeah, so this is a masturbation machine. This person died in their masturbation machine.
What? I mean...
As I said, came and went. But
what a way to go.
The fact is, fucking died. And then we proceeded to be in this masturbation machine for a couple weeks. And at some point, the masturbation machine castrated the body.
I mean,
you start to rot, and if you have something that's like constantly sucking on your rotting parts,
that'll do it.
It's gonna fly. And so the Black & Decker pecker wrecker had stopped working because I think that it had shorted out or something had happened.
Oh my God.
But so that's the masturbation machine. We tell that story on the podcast. It's just like, to me, it's like...
I remember now. I was like, I'm waiting for that moment of recognition.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's like, imagine, like, that's why I always get the heebie-jeebies about dying on the toilet, because I've picked up so many people who have died on the toilet that I think it's fucking hilarious, a way to die. Like, I think it's a hilarious way to die until you're on the toilet and you feel like, oh shit, I'm about to die on the toilet. And that's why watching that Saturday Night Live episode, The Toilet Ejector, makes me laugh so hard because of this exact thing.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so those are some of my stories from funeral directing days gone by. I'd still be doing it except for the sexual thing, but I don't want to talk about that. So that's not really exciting. Let's just go on into the next thing. The amount of times people have asked me, so why aren't you a funeral director anymore? And I'm all like, yeah, I was was something to do with sexuality, and I didn't really want to get into it.
Did they
Kind of
just walk away?
embarrassing. They're just like, no, the faces of, we promise at the Smith Funeral Home not to have sex with your loved ones.
For the most part,
Oh,
probably.
Jesus.
Yikes! No, I just didn't like the whole selling, like the used car salesman aspect of it. And I was
Yeah.
working in commission at the end, and I was like, I don't like this at all. It makes
Really
me feel dirty.
sad.
That's really
Pre-need
icky.
sales. Yeah, pre-need
Yeah.
sales. So it's basically you're trying to get them to spend their money on their funeral. Now, it's a good idea because whatever, but it made me feel gross. So that's when I was like, no, this is not for me. Thanks. Thank you.
Oi.
Anyway, there you go. I hope you
Did you-
enjoyed my story.
Did you ever see any spirits or anything?
Oh, yeah.
You have?
Like at the funeral home, I even told this story where when I worked at the funeral home as an apprentice, we had to spend 7 out of 14 nights. So there were 2 apprentices per each location of the funeral home that I was working at. And each apprentice, we had to spend the night 7 out of 14 nights to answer the phones. Because you can either get a service to answer your phone in the middle of the night, or you can have somebody who actually works at the place answering the phone in the middle of the night. It's the more professional thing to have somebody who works there answering it. So that's what the apprentices would do. But outside of the bedroom that we shared were the staff lockers. And I'm sure you've heard lockers opening and closing. Yes, you know what that sounds like. They're loud and they have a distinctive sound. So when I'm the only person in the funeral home, the alarm's on and everything, and I happen to be watching television on a Saturday night at 12:30, and I'm suddenly hearing the lockers opening and closing outside of my room. I'm like, well,
Ooh.
I'm not going to go and investigate, so I'm just going to turn up my television.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, and I've seen people out of the corner of your eye and that, but I mean, like, it's stuff that can be explained away with like, oh, it's just sort of like your mind playing tricks. But one thing your mind doesn't play tricks on is hearing locker doors opening and shutting. That to me, it's like, no, that's pretty distinctive noise. I'm not drinking.
At that point, I'm trying to convince myself that I'm schizophrenic. I'm like, that's less scary.
But don't forget, I'm also in a building with 10 corpses. So, and one is, by the way, on the exact opposite wall. I had the wall near the staff lockers. The other wall was adjacent to one of the visitation rooms. So when we'd have a body set up, it's just on the other side of that wall. And the wall's drywall. You know that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nothing. They're dead. They're not going to come back and hurt you.
No, but
I mean, how sure are you?
Oh, pretty sure. They don't
Pretty
sit
sure.
up and they don't suddenly jerk around and shit. Like, I love it. It's like, oh my God, this body just shot up and sat up. I'm like, bodies don't do that. Just saying, they don't. They may shit, yes.
That's
There
good.
may be poop involved, but generally speaking, no, they don't. If you're moving a body, it can make a noise because you're displacing the air in the lungs, and it'll sound something like this.
Oh my god.
No, thank you,
That's
ma'am.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, my grandmother actually, she said that she was once in the room with somebody who had just died, and the body sort of went, and scared the shit out of her. She ran out of the.
No.
Oh my goodness.
But
No.
death found her in 2008, and it finds all of us. Anywho,
Okay, bye.
no, but if it's one thing that being a funeral director has taught me is that the only thing that's worth any value at all in this world is time. That's the only thing that matters. All this shit about worrying about money and all this crap that we're going through right now, the economy and all this shit. The economy only exists because we agree to it and say yes to it as a society. If we as a society said, fuck no, we're not doing this anymore, fuck you, fuck your bank charges, fuck all this shit, we're not doing it anymore, what are the powers that be going to do? So the only thing that's worth anything at all is your time on this planet. And us doing podcasting, I'm loving doing this with Paul. I'm loving having this experience with the two of you. And that's because this is what life is meant to be, right here. It's meant to be fun and enjoyable and not stressful and bullshit. So I'm just saying, anybody who's listening to this right now, enjoy the time that you have and do with it as much as you can. Because there will be a point in time where you have none left. And
Right.
remember
And
this
you're
as
just
you
a
pass
creepy
by.
body making creepy noises.
No, but the best epitaph that I've ever heard is, remember this as you walk by, as you are now, so once was I. And it's that simple.
That's so
So,
sweet.
I know, right?
If only
I'm such a
everyone
fucking-
felt that way.
I know.
Aw, you're cheeseful. Just kidding.
See, I'm not just funny.
We're back
I
to
can
cheese.
also make you think. Dick cheese. Make my dick cheese. There's nothing like a song about dick cheese. Oh,
That was beautiful. Ooh,
Paul summoning the spirit.
the spirits are coming.
Woo. All right, so for the listener, they're getting ready the tarot reading for Paul. Paul wanted a tarot reading, which I mocked him for because I don't believe in it. But that's just because I'm a supreme asshole. In case you haven't figured that out from what you've heard so far.
So the tarot cards that you utilize, are they anything, what type of, like, there's different types of tarot cards, right? Like, so what type of cards do you guys utilize?
Yeah, so the traditional tarot.
Okay.
Because there are other card sets like oracle decks and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not what most people are familiar with in terms of tarot because it doesn't have like the normal suits and like the major arcana cards.
Okay.
So
It sounds like Magic the Gathering.
No.
how dare
It's
you?
not like that.
Oh, David. Oh, David.
Caitlin wants to kill me. Look at her face. That's the death face.
Oh, David.
And then, okay, I'm just going to thumb through. And then like we have, this is like one of the major arcana. Oh, let's see. Okay.
Oh,
It looks like,
Justice.
is that the, oh, it's not the Mike Myers card? It looks like Austin Powers.
Let me see. Does it? No, it doesn't.
Dave, we took a vote and we decided you're full of it.
She looks like
Yes.
a badass goddess.
Wow.
So is there any sort of question or something you want to know from the
Oh.
card?
So
Will my
when you-
testicles ever descend?
Oh my god.
I've been waiting
So
for
do you-
50 years.
so is this like more of like a question inquiry type of situation? Is this like a personality assessment? Is this like a spiritual like aura type of like dive, or how is this what are we dealing with here,
Yeah.
ladies? What are we doing?
Well, okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. Like for each of our cases, we do a single card draw, and that's just kind of like to provide some insight on the case in general.
Okay.
And so we typically, like everybody knows what our kind of topic is or what we're talking about when it comes to our tarot read. But like if you have something that you're like, oh, I just want like a little bit of insight around this, it's really just about like you just decide what that is that you're thinking about. You don't necessarily have to share it with us.
Okay.
That's true.
But you just kind of look at, it doesn't have to be a specific question. It can just be something that you're like, I'd be interested in some insight on this.
Okay. Perfect.
And then one of the things that we've done is you can do like something really simple where if you want to do like past, present, future, like that 3-card draw is a really popular one. Or if you just want to do like a single card draw. fancy.
Past, present, future is interesting to me.
Oh,
We had a couple cards just pop.
Oh no.
we can just pull those babies
So
out.
can
Those are,
anybody ask the tarot a question?
yeah.
You have to wait your turn.
Ah, for fuck.
Oh my god, and another
Oh,
one
I
just
am.
literally flew out. Okay. So I'm assuming past, present, future.
Yeah. We can save these ones. Let's do that. We'll take these. These are our flyaways, but I'll do a real deal. Okay, Paul, do you have a query?
What is forthcoming? Is there anything that I should be on the lookout for? Is there anything I
From you,
should
man.
be concerned about?
Oh wow.
Okay. So, Cassie, you cut them cards.
She's shuffling the cards.
I'm just gonna cut it again.
Tarot
Just
magic going on.
Okay.
Card has been
drew that
flipped.
one recently.
Ooh,
Okay.
these are interesting. Like together.
Ooh.
A third cut or a second cut, third cut.
Third card. Yeah, we'll do past,
Okay.
present, future.
Okay.
All right. I'm reserving judgment because I do think I want to see how we feel about this reading. We literally had 3 cards exactly that flipped out while we were shuffling.
Shuffling.
So,
Oh, okay.
which when it happens with Cassie, I'm like, that's unusual because she actually like has normal human hands.
Yeah, it
Not
literally
like,
feels
you know,
like they're just flying.
ex-president hands.
They just like poof out of the deck, and you're like, really? I was holding them all.
Wait.
I'm going to go silent because I'm going to feed the cat. I'll be right
You just don't care.
So we'll show you. This is the first. We've got 3 of Swords in reverse for past. So
And these are the cards we just pulled, not the ones that popped out yet.
yeah.
Okay.
The reverse 3 of Swords is actually less problematic and severe than the upright 3. So we've got that going for us. It suggests you're making more of an unhappy situation than necessary, or that a disappointment is temporary, not the end of the world. Perhaps the truth hurts, but once you face it, you can improve things. Pull yourself together and get on with your life. Which clearly you did. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're in the present now. So
Okay. True, true.
And then we have the 3 different kind of applications. So there's money, job, and love. So
Okay.
whichever it applies to, you can get the interpretation of this particular card for past. In a reading about money, you may harbor regrets about what might have been, or you're chastising yourself for a bad decision. The reversed 3 recommends letting go of blame and guilt, repairing damage, and starting anew. If the reading is about your job, you may be pulling out of a damaging and hurtful situation. The reverse 3 can mean the worst is over and you've learned from your mistakes. Remain watchful for confusion, deception, or poor judgment. In a reading about love, this card points to painful experiences, but you're working on past problems and trying to make things better. You need to let go of jealousy, regrets, guilt, and fear. Sometimes this card represents accepting a loss and moving on.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's our tarot.
Interesting.
Anything relating?
I think definitely from a job perspective, right? So although it was not
right.
as though it wasn't of my choice, I was at a job for almost 12 years and I was let go.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I spent my entire 20s there, from the time I was 20 until the time I was 32.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know what's so weird about that? Because that card is representing the past, and it said the past like a couple of times in those descriptions. That was kind of interesting.
So we're looking at, oh my God. Okay, so the lovers.
That's in
the lovers.
Yeah. So our keywords: partnership, union of opposites, choices, harmony, and cooperation.
Okay.
The lovers card usually shows a man and a woman, but there the similarities end. In some decks, they're naked. In others, they're clothed. Some decks show the couple touching, even engaged in a passionate embrace, whereas others place them on opposite sides of the card, perhaps with a winged being overlooking them, a la the Garden of Eden. You'll even find decks that present 3 people on the card as if a third party, who might be a young person or an older parental figure, is influencing their relationship. Although many people interpret this card as representing romantic love, it's really about the union of opposites, often expressed as the union of the male and female sides of your own dual nature.
That's interesting.
I know. That doesn't rule out romance in your future if the lovers shows up in a reading. It just means union, has many meanings other than male-female coupling. Oh my God. Thank you for mansplaining that. to me.
Right.
God, I never could have figured that out with my tiny woman brain. Oh my God. Thank God. Oh, we've got a little extra.
Okay.
In mythology, the lovers reflects Eros, the son of Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty. The Romans called him Cupid, and it was his job to shoot the arrows of love, considered a form of madness, at unsuspecting youths. Well, that feels right.
Oh, God.
Thus, the Greeks often depicted Eros blindfolded to represent that love is blind. But Eros has another role, to guide us toward our true destiny, which is to say, do what you love and everything will follow naturally.
Aww.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Right?
Mhm.
That sounds really
Absolutely.
good.
Upright, this is a card of cooperation, of working together with others to accomplish a joint purpose.
What?
So weird. When it appears upright, it signifies an attraction and partnership of some kind, not only the romantic variety. It can also suggest you're uniting disparate parts of yourself. The lovers represents a period of harmony in personal or professional matters. Sometimes it indicates you need to make a choice between two things you value, but you'll make the right decision. In a reading about money, you can profit from combining your resources with someone else's. Sometimes the lovers symbolizes benefiting from a partner's money or marrying into wealth.
Ooh.
Bitch, what?
What you got planning?
Not with the current situation I'm in. Definitely not. Definitely not.
If you're seeking a financial backer, this card gives you a thumbs up. If the reading is about your job, this card represents a time of cooperation, contentment, and harmony. Joint projects are favored now. Two forces have united toward a common goal. The lovers can also signify meeting a partner through work or working with a romantic partner in a business. Weird. I don't know anyone who does that. In a reading about love, this card bodes well for a romantic relationship. It shows mutual caring and attraction, a rewarding partnership that brings out the best in both people. Sometimes it means a decision in connection with a love relationship. Wow.
That all sounded great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That sounded eerily like us.
Exactly. To me, so far, it sounds like the past card is saying, like, the past is the past. Let it go.
Yeah,
It doesn't
your
matter.
Former jobs. Goodbye.
Yeah. Focus
That's the whole
on
thing.
now, your
Laugh,
new
Alicia.
business with your partner. Oh,
This is weird.
So-
Actually, it's kind of eerie.
It is, right?
we're good at what we do.
Hey, we're going to get you.
You know what's weird? I just
That
had
is
this
fucking
thought that
creepy.
these cards are for Dave.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. He was like, oh, when is mine? And you're like, you have to wait your turn. And in true Dave fashion, it literally jumped out of
I
that
think
deck.
those are Dave's cards.
I like to jump the line.
I mean, I get that.
Just watch people lose their minds.
Let's finish this one. So
Oh my
future.
gosh. Wow.
Do you ever just get the chills at how good you are?
I get the chills when I pee.
So what are we
Okay.
looking at for the future?
We are 7 of Cups reversed. This chick looks like Stevie Nicks.
Oh my God, it does.
It's
Love
so
it.
hard.
Okay, so 7 of Cups. The keywords are possibilities, potential, imagination, fantasy. Okay, so in reverse, the reversed 7 can mean either you're in a fog about your future, or conversely, you're finally gaining clarity about your direction in life.
It literally says future in it. Like,
That's
this
so
is so
fucking
weird.
weird. Oh my God. Perhaps dreams you held in the past no longer interest you, and you're replacing them with new goals. So weird. In the shamanic realm, this is about dispelling illusions to see the reality within, and about facing the worldly temptations that cause the downfall of so many gurus and leaders.
Interesting. That's just a little excerpt. It's one of our little extras.
I was like, ooh, that's really deep.
You're like, yeah, man.
Absolutely. I'm listening to this. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm vibing with this.
Ooh, okay. Well, keep an eye on Dave here. All right. I'm just in preparation for this next part.
Uh-oh.
In a reading about money, deception is a possibility. Someone else may be unreliable, or you may be deceiving yourself. I'm teasing. Dave's like, what?
I don't even know what's happening right now.
That's
I'm very frightened. You're engaging the spirit world, and it's frightening to me.
No. That's a Ouija board, and we don't do that nonsense. So,
Not like Brocard
Oh my God.
and Eduardo.
You Kate Bush looking motherfucker. If the reading is about your job, your ideas and projects may not bear fruit, partly because you lack the incentive and focus to move them along. Perhaps you feel lazy or uninspired. You'd rather dream than work. Paul, get it together.
Interesting.
lazy cop.
Interesting.
That's in the future after you've made it big and you're like, you're like one of those people that used to be a starving artist and now you like live in, your $10 million mansion. So it's like, what do you write about for the common man?
And now we use starving artists as ottomans. If you get on the ground, starving artist, I'll pay you $5 and I'll put my feet up on your back. But I have made it big.
Well, so keep in mind, he asked if there's anything he should be like worried about, right? That's what you kind of asked.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that that's
Interesting.
how this is kind of relating.
I think it's really interesting because it's such a positive thing for present, and it's like looking to the future. It's like these are those potential pitfalls.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank God we're always in the present. We're never in the future. We're always in the present. So
Oh my God.
fuck the future then.
Steve, I didn't realize you were a Buddhist.
You like that? You like that?
In a reading about love, the reversed 7 can indicate lack of commitment or indecision in a romantic affair. You may want to keep your options open indefinitely, or you may idealize a relationship all out of proportion, refusing to see the truth. I feel like this reading is so clearly about the second bullet, where it's clearly about the
What do you think?
podcast, not the third one. I was like, yes. And then I'm like, oh no. You just had to make an asshole out of me.
It wasn't you, it was the card. Did that mean anything to you guys, or?
Well, that's the future.
Yeah, the future. I think that's pretty indicative of just like my normal process, like my track record when it comes to kind of doing something different, right? There's always an element of struggle or uncertainty that has to, you have to get over in order to move on. So I think, I think that was interesting. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Second card in particular, that just like, that really got me.
Yeah, because it's like
all of us are kind of like,
it's just happening now. We know it. Like,
right?
So
right?
It makes the other two cards more valid, I feel like, too.
Okay, so we're starting with past for Dave. It's the Page of Cups. Keywords are naivete, openness, sensitivity, maturity.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll say again for the people in the back.
Yes, I heard immaturity. I heard that.
Okay,
That's
there's
the
one
only
more.
one so far.
There's one more.
Yes.
Lack of boundaries.
That's 3 words.
Interesting.
Paul?
And this is the past card, though, which
Paul, suck my ass, you fucking face with your face.
Listen, the card has spoken, and the card is, she's talking truth, okay? She's
Roll
spilling
card.
the tea right now.
that's what
Word.
happens.
Spilling the tea, fire.
Listen, Dave, it's science. In some tarot decks, the page appears as a child, an apprentice, a student, or a young servant. Consequently, page cards represent innocence or the initial stages of a situation. Sometimes the Page of Cups is shown contemplating a fish, a symbol of the water element.
Yeah, fishy, fish, fish, fish.
Do you have any fish in your past?
Nope.
It's
Only
a
ones I've
symbol.
eaten.
I'm just curious.
It's a symbol of the water element. Wait, Dave, what is your astrological sign?
Taurus.
I don't know what
That's
that is.
that's a land mammal, by the way.
It's an earth.
Like, I don't know.
When the Page of Cups shows up, it suggests intuition and innate artistic, creative abilities, but you haven't developed these yet. It also indicates emotional immaturity. If this card represents an actual person, he or she is probably young, inexperienced in love, and perhaps overly trusting, naive, or idealistic in the extreme.
Oh.
Wow.
That ain't me at all.
That's not you
like-
now, but this is your
This is for the
past card,
past.
and it's talking
This is your
about
past.
a child.
I was molested, so
This is crazy.
I would
guess
say that-
maybe I was naive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, right? Like you put the pieces together, you throw in, yes, of course, the molestation, which stunts your ability to grow as an individual, right? You stay a child for such a long time. So your inability to, the insecurities that you have and the being a little bit less, grown up makes sense for your past. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're fucking witches. I don't care what you say.
I'm sorry, Dave. We're gonna have to preempt this fake crying episode.
What are you talking about? I only use real emotion.
We don't allow fake crying on our podcast. Upright. When the Page of Cups appears, it can indicate self-esteem issues. Perhaps you look to others to define you or place too much trust in people. It also suggests a keen intuition and latent artistic ability. Sometimes this card shows you facing an emotional issue about which you feel uncertain or unprepared. It can also represent the early stages of a relationship. If the page stands for a real person, he or she may be a younger sibling, child, or friend, particularly an imaginative, sensitive, or idealistic one. In a reading about money, the page indicates naivete in money matters. Perhaps you've got your head in the clouds or don't know how to manage your finances. Sometimes this card recommends seeking guidance from an expert, but it can also show you're too trusting of others. In a reading about love, the upright page may signify the first blush of a romance. It can also mean you feel shy, vulnerable, or uncertain about a relationship. Perhaps you tend to give too much of yourself and trust too much. You'd benefit from a more equitable situation.
You're nodding.
Oh yeah, he won't admit it, but yeah, oh no, this is all very much hitting the mark for David when it comes
Oh
to
my
past.
gosh.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
crazy.
How dare you say what I will and will not admit? How dare you? I don't admit anything.
You don't have to. It's okay.
The little
Yeah.
that I know, it seems dead on. So
Yeah, especially the shy part.
It's not
Were you
about the
shy?
now, honey.
Fucking shy. Look at me.
You were a shy person back in the day when you were younger and stuff.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Dust. We hit a nerve.
What is this? Present? Present.
yep, 7 of Wands.
7 of Wands.
Ooh, wands.
All right. Looks like Xena, warrior princess.
Right?
She's a
Kinda
bad
does.
bitch. Keywords are courage, fighting for what you believe in, facing challenges. When the 7 of Wands appears in a reading, you may need to stand up for yourself and fight for what you believe in. Challenges confront you, but you possess the resources to succeed. I think of this as the don't give up card.
Aw.
When this card appears, you may need to fend off competitors or enemies to achieve your objective. Even if the challenges are formidable, you can overcome them. The 7 encourages you to stay strong and focus your will to win the struggle. In a reading about money, this card tells you to hold firm in a financial matter, even if things appear difficult at present. Avoid arguments about money or possessions. In a reading about work, the upright 7 advises holding your ground. Try to keep your spirits up and don't show weakness. Keep working diligently for what you want. Don't let other people distract you. In a reading about love, this card recommends trying to work things out with a partner instead of squabbling. It may seem easier to just give up, but if you keep a positive attitude, you can resolve difficulties. Oh, this is great. There's a little extra in here.
Okay.
When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on.
Oh.
Hang in there, kitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Is that a message
by the
that
way,
you needed?
Can I just say that cat's been dead for 30 years?
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad you did.
Oh.
Absolutely. David, can you not admit that entire present reading is 100% what you're going through right now?
Sometimes I just don't feel fresh, Paul.
Okay.
Oh, I'll take that as a yes.
Yes, no, it's creeping me out. I don't like it. It's creeping me out. This
It
sort of
shouldn't be
shit.
creepy. They're just trying to help.
The sprite.
Yes.
So this third card. Let's hear about this third card. The
It
future and
is
shit.
the Emperor in reverse. She's wearing an
Ooh,
amazing
upside down.
Hillary pantsuit.
Oh, Hillary, can I have cream pie in your face, Hillary? Oh,
Bringing it back.
cream pie.
The keywords for the Emperor are leadership, masculine power, mature men, and material success.
Ooh, I like that.
Masculine power. Woo! That's me, baby.
Well, maybe we need to consider that previous definitions were, I don't know, a tad narrow.
I like masculine power. Makes me feel very strong.
Very superior.
You look
Excited to hear this.
so superior.
As his title suggests, the Emperor is a figure of supreme authority. He's usually shown as a mature man seated on a throne, as a warrior bearing a shield and sword, or outdoors, where he wields power in the natural world.
Okay, stop. When you said a warrior seated on a throne, I was thrown at the toilet.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say. So when you say throne,
Listen,
do you mean
I just
about the
read the
porcelain?
cards.
The porcelain variety?
That's hilarious. That didn't occur to me. I cannot believe I missed the opportunity for a potty joke.
Come on.
Honestly.
Who's on the
This is awesome.
shitter?
I must be ill. In some decks, he wears royal robes and a crown. In others, a suit of armor to signify his position of strength. Clearly, he's a figure to be reckoned with. He's the savvy executive, the brave warrior, the responsible civic leader who has reached the summit of authority and achieved worldly power.
Worldly. Wow.
The Emperor is an archetypal father figure, just as the Empress is a mother figure.
Oh.
If the Emperor is reversed, you may be in conflict with the established order, perhaps at your job or with your family, religion, or ethnic group. This card can represent a person who's overbearing, chauvinistic, or self-righteous, or conversely, one who's cowardly, indecisive, or lacks confidence.
Me,
Sometimes-
all of them.
All of the above.
Mm-hmm.
Darling, how did you know?
This ain't an either or situation. This is an all of the above.
Sometimes it shows a loss of power or status and subsequent feelings of weakness or vulnerability. In a reading about money, you may lack the acumen to make or manage money successfully. or a lack of self-confidence may prevent you from getting financially ahead. Sometimes this card shows a situation in which you must stand up to adversaries and protect what's yours. If the reading is about your job, you may feel pressured to accept responsibilities you don't want or don't feel capable of handling. Perhaps you've lost a job through downsizing, or you lack the energy required to reach your goals. This card can indicate a need for more experience, drive, or skill. If you're trying to please someone else or fit a role that's been dictated to you, it may be time to take the reins yourself.
Gee.
In a
Sounds
reading
like what
about
we're doing, Paul.
It does.
apparently you keep on doing it, I guess.
Mhm.
In a reading about love, this card suggests coldness, criticism, or an overly controlling nature. One person in the relationship is the boss who calls all the shots. Sometimes the reversed emperor shows immaturity, lack of commitment, or infertility. Be aware of stifling and stagnating rules and regulations. Learn when it is time to question the obligations and mores of society.
Wow. How do you feel about this? That was a lot.
Oh, that was.
Well, I just like to move on now.
Oh.
I freaked out and
He's so
I don't like it.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't ask for this exposure. Thank you very much.
Oh. The cards wanted you to know, obviously.
Absolutely.
No, I actually do find
Absolutely.
it interesting. It's like I believe like that the universe puts people and things into your path, and it's up to you to find them and to deal with them as you will. But it's like meeting you guys, for example, meeting some of the people that listen to our podcast, and how that's now grown into something that could grow into something even bigger.
Yeah.
Is based upon just like I said to Paul, all you need is that right person that you come across that has access to that, and then suddenly, bam, it happens. And so it's interesting, and I think that the universe really does want for Paul and I to do well, and for people around us to do well as well. So
I think so
for the
too.
first time in my life, and I think it's just I'm nearly 50 now, but I finally got my life in order, and to the point where I'm finally happy. The happiest than I've ever been in my life. And of course with Paul, doing this with him is one of the best things I've ever done. Like, I have so much fun recording with him. And I think that it comes out authentically in what we do. So yeah, no, it was interesting to hear. Like, it seems like the cards are kind of in our favor.
Are you ready to admit that we're witches?
I'm ready to accept Jesus Christ as my personal savior. Yes.
No.
Listen here. That is not the shit we're selling.
No.
Jesus is our savior. Jesus is our friend. Jesus is the savior. Love him to the end. La, 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 la.
God. We should leave that in. Some of my family will be so thrilled and very confused. They'll be like, wait, she's back?
She's back.
Oh my gosh.
Too funny.
I love that. It really is. It's like we asked the universe, like, I don't know, should like Paul and Dave keep doing this podcast thing? And it was like, bitch, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna share my screen so you can see something that we'll be sending your way, along with a particular flavor of Pop-Tarts shortly.
Oh, you don't have to. Oh my goodness.
But we're doing it.
Yeah,
so deal with
we're
it.
doing it anyway.
So kind.
Can you see?
Oh my God, is that
it?
Golden Girls?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
It's like
cute.
Golden Girls deck of tarot cards.
That's so cute.
Isn't it adorable?
That is adorable. Oh my God. I love
You
that.
can-
That's so adorable.
You can read tarot now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you ladies are so nice. Oh my goodness. I'm so shocked right now. Seriously.
Oh, I'm so glad
You guys
you're
are so
happy.
nice.
No, that was
Oh my
great.
God.
Thank you again so much. Like,
Thank
this
you
was
guys.
fun.
Thank
It was great.
That was really fun.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to pee
Well,
my pants.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Bye.
See you
Thank you
later.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a
creepy
creepy
ass
day.
day. And
See you next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That was just shit. Really? Okay.
Beautiful.
That's the best
You're
you're getting out of
saying
it.
it like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi,
Right?
3 Mississippi.
I thought he was
like a normal-
lagging.
I was
Speak
like,
like a
is that-
normal person.
Are these,
How dare all of you?
are these things on?
How dare all of you? That was a train wreck.
You know what? But it's a train wreck, and people can't look away from those.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactamundo.
So, for all of you that are listening, if you have any true crime or paranormal stories that you want us to share, maybe with the whole Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we would love to read them on the pod.
Yes, we will read them out loud.
Not just in our heads.
Yes. They don't have to be from the Pacific Northwest if you would like to share. Email us at pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. It's all spelled out, no special characters. Super duper easy peasy.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing as the email at PNW Haunts and Homicides, all spelled out, no special characters. Please also rate and review us on whatever platform you're listening to, and check out our stories on social media because our meme game is hot.
Agreed.
And if you agree, like Caitlin, you can also find us on Patreon and support the show.
Bitchin'.
Have a
great
day. You guys suck
See
at that.
you
Oh my
next
God.
Tuesday.
Let's try that again. That was just shit on so many levels. We go on
fine.
3.
It's fine if we're off. It doesn't matter.
1, 2, 3.